encouragement to turn tragedies into your own triumphant life story? If so, this podcast is for you. Listen to powerful guests who have persevered through challenges so you can gain strength to build your championship life. The host of Professor of Perseverance podcast, Dr. James Perdue.
Hey, come on in. It's time for us to get some inspiration, motivation, something that we can get fired up, use a little gold nugget to help us get through our next difficulty, hardship, trials and tribulation, challenges, adversities. You know what I'm talking about. To help us get through that, grab a little gold nuggets from today's episode and pay it forward. Don't hold it on that gold nugget till you die. Give it away. Let someone else learn and help so they can move on and have a better life. All right, today, I'm going to talk with a gentleman here. He says as a young boy, he had visions, dreams of how he could change the world. And as life happens to, as it does for so many people, life experience happened to squash the dream. So he's going to come in here and he's going to, let me pull this up over here. He's going to help us unlock our potentials for a purpose-driven life. So we can learn how. Welcome to the show, Dean Taylor.
Hey, thank you, Professor Perseverance.
Yes, sir. And again, John Bentley, when you listen on the replay, thank you. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Dean. Hey, yeah, but with and people, today's September 11th. We know that it's the 24 years ago what happened with our country. Also, 42 years ago, I got paralyzed. And so, not that we're talking about that at this moment, but Dean's going to teach us when something happens, something gets in life, something comes around and throws us off our course, how we can turn around and have a purpose-driven life. And thoughts, prayers to Charlie Kirk's family for what they're going through, what happened yesterday. I tell you, I was just talking to Dean before we got started. I'm not on either side of this political stuff. I just try to look for what's right for all of us. All this, but too much violence. Something's got to be done to stop it, and so we can have a better life and move on. It's just from there. All right, I'll get off my soapbox there, Dean, and I tell you what, you go ahead and jump us into the story where you think's best fits, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Well, thank you, and thanks for that reference to Charlie Kirk. That reference hit home for me. I have a son actually attends the university where that event took place, and he was present there yesterday and witnessed that event. And yeah, what a I totally agree with you. The violence. Got to find a way to stop that. And I'm on either side of this. Just feel like for a fellow American.
Yes, amen. It's just we all need to come together. That's going to benefit all of us. I don't care what you are, who you think you are. Somehow, all these politicians need to get together instead of fighting back and forth and throwing us in the middle of it. Y'all are supposed to be working on benefiting America, and that's what we need to be doing. So, All right, I'll get off the soapbox again. Dean, take us off, buddy.
Hey, thank you. Well, I'm really excited and I'm really grateful to be a part of the show today. Looking forward to this discussion. And I was thinking about this when we were doing the introduction and listening to that great introduction you have to start the podcast. And kind of relevant to the story we were talking about today. When I was a young man, I was on a scouting trip. We were canoeing down. I grew up in Oklahoma. We were canoeing down the Arkansas River, and a storm. We'd been kind of trying to stay ahead of a storm that was approaching us, and eventually the storm caught up to us. And there was a loud crack of, a bright light, and then immediately after that, a loud crack of thunder. You could tell it was just really close, and so we all scurried to the shore, got out of our canoes, huddled up under some trees, trying to stay out of the wind and the hail and all the weather that was happening. And shortly thereafter, one of our fellow friends and scouts came running around the bend in the river. They were ahead of us, and he just came running and saying that our friend Greg had been knocked unconscious, and he had put him back in the canoe. And so we all went chasing after him. And what we discovered was that Greg had his life jacket on the wrong way. Didn't have it up around his shoulders and neck. He had it around his waist. And so when he got knocked unconscious, it held his waist up above the water, but his head was under the water the whole time. And we performed CPR for, well, we were in those times, no cell phones. No.
Oh yeah. So back in the day. Yeah.
Back in the day.
You're doing what you think's best. Like I said, with the CPR. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? And my brother says this all the time. We don't wake up today saying, today's the day I'm dying. We're going to do the best we can, get out, have fun. Maybe metaphorically, we've got our life jacket on the wrong way, metaphorically as well. And we don't make the right decisions sometimes. Okay. But we don't anticipate losing a life for it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, despite all of our efforts to try to save his life, he ended up passing away. And that was just what you said. No anticipation that was going to happen that day, that time. We were all out having fun, a great experience, and it turned out very, very differently than we anticipated. So, I think, and we all have experiences. We all have experiences like that really are life altering, changing, and finding a way to overcome and to persevere and become. How are you going to get through it? And for me, it was. I mean, I was young. I was only I think I just turned 15, so I was pretty young. And losing a friend like that, a good friend, has changed me. And in some ways, I would say we can always take a bad experience, and it's how we respond to it, how we choose to deal with it, is what can really change what that experience will mean for us. And that I relied on my faith, relied on people around me, my faith, my parents, other friends to help deal with that, the tragic loss of a good friend.
Well, yeah, at the age of 15, that's a lot to see for someone at that age to see death, and trying to comprehend everything. And yeah, it's a good thing you had a good system that you can fall back on that to help you get through it. Because there's so many people out there that think they got to do it all by themselves, and some people can do it, but other people can't, and it makes it harder on them. Yeah.
Yeah, I love what you said there. Something I picked up on that maybe the power. I'm reading a book. Well, I've read it. I'm reading it again. I've read this book a few times, but there's a book by Sean Achor. He's a Harvard psychologist, called Big Potential, and he talks about the power of social connection. And he uses an analogy of when we're looking to grow and to reach potential, the analogy is jumping on a trampoline. Like, we all have jumped on a trampoline, and you can only go so high as an individual. But if you're jumping with someone else, you can sometimes get the super bounce. And I love that analogy. And so anyway, that thought occurred to me as you were talking about the power of connection and systems and people in our lives that can help us with tragedy or with other areas of our life that we're trying to seek for greater expansion in our lives and to grow and become and reach our potential. So I love that. It was a thought I had when you said,
there you go,
systems and connection, very important.
Every now and again, I provoke thought. Not often enough, not as much as I should have probably, but every now and again. So, hey, one quote, and I know there's different forms of it, so I don't know the original author of it, but it's again quoted in different ways. But it's if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
And again, you're like you just mentioned, the people to surround us with to help us grow in life. It didn't have to necessarily be tragedy, but to grow in life and to do better and fulfill our dreams.
Yep. Yep. I love that quote too. That is a great one. That is very good.
All right. Show's over. We're done for today. Thank you, Dean, for coming on. All right, Dean. No, go ahead and keep going. You're doing great, man.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I guess another story from my life that impacted me greatly, that maybe many people could, I guess if you can't relate to it yet, eventually I think we all will probably be able to relate at some point in our lives. My mom passed away in 2015. My dad, he passed away a few years after that, but right before he passed away, it was probably maybe 5 or 6 months before that event. We went back to Oklahoma where I grew up, and we're helping get the house to cleared out and get ready for sale. And maybe just a little backup on that story. Earlier in my life, my dad had this dream of having his own business. He wanted to have his own small engine repair business. And I remember being so excited.
My dad was a mechanic, and he wanted to have his own mechanic shop one time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, my dad loved working with his hands. He did that kind of work, which was great. And I remember him going to school. I was so excited for him because I thought, oh, my dad, he's going to do this thing he's always wanted to do, and he's talked about this. Got the training. I remember him bringing this little small engine home, something you probably would find like on a rototiller or something like that, and he'd take it apart and put it back together and do all these and learn all these things. And I don't know exactly why, but that business just never took off for him.
Yeah.
So here we are all these years later in their house, and we're clearing out the garage, and I run across all these manuals that I remember him poring over and studying.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we're continuing the clearing out of the garage, I find over in a corner this little engine that I'd seen him work on. And now we're taking all those things and we're just throwing them literally in a dumpster.
Yeah. We did that yesterday. My dad died when I was 16, and here I'm 61. My mom's 85 with dementia. I've moved her into my house. 3 or 4 years now, we've really needed to go and sell our house. And the thought of not being ours anymore just gave me a mental block. You know, everything in there is going to be gone now, means we were never there anymore. But finally talking with other friends, and one guy I talked to yesterday, he said, James, I thanked him for helping me yesterday. And he said, James, I just got out of church, and today we were studying giving up our earthly goods. And here, I'm calling him, thanking him for his advice and stuff, helped me. But that was tough. And even like my dad died when I was 60. I was 16, and he had some big feet. I mean, they had a special order of shoes, big feet.
Wow.
And Mom still he died in 1980, and she still had those shoes in the closet from 1980 to 2025 because she just couldn't get rid of them because that was his shoes. So, yeah, we understand a little bit of what you're going through. Not a great deal, but a little bit of that, yeah.
Yes.
Or what you went through, yeah.
Yeah. And when doing that, and the reason I share that story is I had this moment where I'm throwing this stuff out and thinking about this dream and reflecting on that, and then thinking about my own life dreams, and I thought, am I on the same path? Am I on the path where, like, literally at some point my dreams, I'm just going to let them kind of die with me? And that was a change, a pivot, and if you want to, for lack of a better word, but pivot or a hinge point in my life where I thought, wow, why have I allowed myself to take things that I've wanted to accomplish, dreams that I've had, and I've just sort of put them on the shelf for a long time, and no longer, well, I wasn't pursuing it, and I thought, am I going to let that happen to me? And so it was a turning point where I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm life. I'm not there at that point. I'm alive, and as long as I'm alive, I can pursue my dream.
That's right. That's right. So one good thing that I like about having a dream is passion enough, and the dream's alive enough. Your one dream could be yours all your life, but we may be able to jump in for 2 or 3 different dreams, and whether it's brought on at something we enjoy or passion, or it may be thrust on us. A drunk driver hits an innocent family, and now they want to be, with the organization Drunk Drivers Against, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, or we get cancer or some other illness, and now we want to be an advocate to try to fight that. So we can have more than one dream and do all right.
Yeah, I've heard someone say once that sometimes you might have to write your your dreams in pencil.
Yeah.
And I love that, because even though it doesn't have to be, you can change it, and it's okay. You can erase it.
Exactly. What you love now, and it may last you all your life, and that's cool, but it might change, and that's okay too. It's time to go to a new chapter of your life. And I like what you said. You may have to write your dreams in pencil. I prefer changing that just a little bit in colored pencils.
Oh,
that
yeah.
way they're in different colors, so they don't all mingle together and you forgot what was what. So I would change it.
Yeah.
Not to say your friend or whoever said that, but I would go with colored pencils.
Colored pencil.
That way each dream would stand out on its own as you're metaphorically writing it, or if you really want to write it.
Sure. Absolutely.
So, all right, Dean, man, you're doing cool, man. So, what was one of your dreams that you all of a sudden thinking about your dad and going, and
yeah,
did you jump in there and say, I'm giving the world, the worst thing to do is we failed, but at least we attempted?
Yep. Yeah. So thank you. That's a fabulous question. And I'll take you back to another story. And I think often a lot of these dreams begin when we're young, in childhood, and things that we want to do. And I had this in our backyard growing up. I had a swing set, and I'd go out there every day, and I would get on my swing and I would start to sing, because I was going to be the next Glenn Campbell, Rhinestone Cowboy.
Now we're talking. We're going way back in the day now.
Yeah. And I would just get out there and I would swing and I would sing to the top of my lungs.
Yeah.
And had this vision that I was going to be the part of the lyric of the song is that getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, and being on stage with the lights shining down on me. And so that was this vision I was holding in my mind. And I walked in the house after being out swinging one day. My mom, I didn't know, had been watching me through the kitchen window.
Mm-hmm.
And she made a comment that I'm sure if she was alive today and I asked her if she ever remembered making this comment, she would say no. And I'm sure she meant no harm. But she told me, she said that I sang just like she did, that I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket.
That's right.
And I thought, what? I'm not a great singer. And it was the first time that I kind of began to doubt this dream that I had. And
isn't it amazing how words, when people say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? Bull.
Yeah.
Words are just as strong as your sticks and stones and your two-sided swords, and they hurt people. Yeah, exactly. And you can either use it to build you up or tear you down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So talking about, so kind of relate, the reason I share those two stories, relating that to my story about my dad and his dream. Throughout my life, I always thought, well, how can I be, I want to be on stage. And I didn't really pursue music. I wasn't something I kind of experienced. I kind of let that be and thought, okay, I'm not a great singer, so what?
Mm-hmm.
But inside my chest and my heart, whenever I would attend a conference, whenever I would, for work, or I would always be asking myself, man, how could I be the person on the stage? I love the idea of inspiring and sharing, encouraging people. But I just kept that on the shelf. I just always thought, oh, I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't have enough education, whatever it was, all the excuses we often tell ourselves about those kinds of things. But when I had that experience at my house with my cleaning my parents' house out and remembering my dad's dream, I thought, why I've got a lifetime of experience. I want to uplift. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go and start pursuing this dream. And so that was the spark. That was the catalyst to get me moving in the direction of the thing that was always kind of in my heart.
That's awesome. And you know as well as I do, and with technology today, we can all do basically what we want to do, our dreams, basically with all the technology. Now, whether it becomes a #1 hit or a #1 best-selling author book or whatever, that may not be totally up to you. But again, you can put your singing up somewhere. People can write books. I encourage everybody to write a book. Okay. Even when you're dead and gone, your great grandkids going to say, oh, that's how I got my attitude. I got it from, when you're dead and gone, they can read about you. Oh, and see a picture. Oh, now I know how I got my nose the way it is. So, but I thought I would encourage everybody, whether you publish it to try to sell it, but you should at least get it published in a nice book and pass it down in the family from there. Is what that's my personal take. So from that, hey, now we're talking about how words and what your mother said about your singing. I just saw something a few weeks ago, and Einstein came home from school one day. Little story. I'm sure I'm butchering it up, but paraphrase as best I can. Comes in and gives his mom a letter and said it's from the teacher. And she opens it up, looks at it, and reads it. He said, "What to say, Mama?" She says, "You're the brightest student she ever has, and you're going to make a difference in the world." She puts the letter up, puts it up away, and that's what she told him. The letter said. 30 years later, she's passed away. He finds the letter, and the letter actually said he's stupid. He'd never make amount of anything, just dumb, as what the teacher said back then about Einstein. But my mother changed the words in it to make him, so not that I'm criticizing your mother, but we need to use our words better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Words matter. Words are absolutely the power. And I think the words that the words we tell ourselves, the things we say to ourselves, our own self-talk really matters, for sure.
Well, we beat up ourselves enough as it is. We don't need outside help. You were talking to yourself why, like excuses on why not doing this. So we don't need the outside environment to tell us. We already beat ourselves enough as it is. So we got to change our mindset as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. Now, big question is,
you
get to sing, you get to perform, you got an album out.
I don't.
You're gonna be like Colonel. You're gonna be like Colonel Sanders late in your life, and you finally got the big hit.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. Well, I haven't sung on a stage yet as a solo, but I do have. My wife is a singer. My wife, maybe that was part of us subconsciously how we connected or something. I don't know. But that was her major in college, was vocal performance, and we have kids who musically talented, and they all play or they sing or at some level and do that. But my talking about going back to the colored pencil and your pencil dream, I changed that a little bit. I thought I want to be on the stage. I still want to, and so that's the dream, the passion that I've been pursuing is being able to take my experience, take life, and to uplift and raise other people up. And so that's what I've been.
There you go.
That's my stage, and
that's a great stage to be at. So hey, don't throw out being on stage and singing. Think of I know in my town, I'm sure in most towns, they have that spring fest or an October fest.
Yeah. Oktoberfest, yeah.
Yeah, see if you can talk to whoever. Hey, this is my dream. I just want to get on stage once. Let me sing a song. And there's stage. You'll have maybe not quite a captive audience, but there'll be people there. So maybe it's could help a little bit with your dream.
I love it. Yeah, I appreciate that. That is great.
Or you can be like Johnny Cash. He used to have be like Johnny Cash. He used to go to prison and sing, and he had a captive audience.
Yeah, they weren't going to go anywhere.
So, all right. No, I'm glad to hear that. I'm not trying to say you're older than me, but to continue on with your dream and do the best you can. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And again, the worst thing that can happen is what? I fail. At least I tried.
Right. Yeah. Well, yes. And we don't, and that's the thought I've had. That's the attitude I've taken is and I don't think I'll ever fail if as long as I don't quit trying, as long as I don't.
Yeah, there you go. But I've heard other people say the only way I failed is when I quit.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I've gave the attempt and it may not go the way I want it, I'm considered success. At least I tried the best I could. So yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and kind of along the lines of one of the things that's helped me in this pursuit and kind of along the line of the topic here, the perseverance. What's helped me
stop
persevere.
Right there. Stop there. Hold on. You said perseverance. Let me give you a fist bump.
Okay. I love it.
All right.
I don't know. Have you ever read a book or heard the book The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod?
I think I've heard of it, but I don't know if I don't remember reading it, but I heard of it.
Yeah. Hal has a incredible story, and I read that book. I guess it's been over 3 years ago, but the book had a real impact on me because it was at that point when I was thinking about my dream and going after my dream and what I want to do. And I came across this book, and it altered how I wake up every morning. And not that you have to do this. It's called The Miracle Morning, but you can do the routine. You can do the morning, quote unquote, morning routine whenever you wake up, right? So it doesn't have to get up early. I'm not saying that, but the thing that what it did for me there in the book, Hal talks about, he calls it the savers routine, where you do silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. So six things. I thought, well, I'll try this out. I'll try two. I'm gonna read and I'll journal. I like doing these two things. I can do that. But after a week and a half, 2 weeks of doing this, I started to notice a change in how I was feeling every morning and how I was showing up in terms of my energy, my enthusiasm, how I felt about the day. Even when difficulty came, or things didn't quite go the way I wanted during the day, I could always look back on my morning and say, well, I did something today. I did something meaningful. So I thought, well, if I feel this good, I'm going to start I'll do all 6 of them. I'll just do all of them. And so I began this routine of doing this every day, and I haven't stopped. I've done it every day, and the perseverance of doing and adding something to my life that just, and I do it every morning when I first wake up, just because it helps me ground myself and be focused and ready. And regardless of what comes, I'm able to show up and be different. Whether that's at home, relationship with friends, work, whatever that is, it's made a difference in my life. So that's one of the a powerful change and shift in my life as well.
Yeah. And a good thing about that is once you get into that habit, and like I said, you're feeling good about it, getting some energy from it, the next day, if you're going, well, I'm too tired to do this, but then you say, well, but I need to get up and do, then you feel so much better that you did do it, that you accomplished it, like you said, from there. So yeah, that's I think it's more than powerful than what you think. When you start off with a purpose, and the first purpose is waking up and doing these 6 objects, and you've already started your day off right.
Right. And it doesn't take, some days it may take me half hour, 40 minutes, other days, depending on the day, I'll do it all in under 10 minutes. Just
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the better you get, the longer you're with it, the better then it's more determined how much you want to write that day, or how much you want to read that day, or how much you want to meditate that day. But you get on a good routine, can take you as short as you need to as long as you want.
Absolutely. Yeah. Customize it. Do it for
That's
whatever
right.
works.
Whatever works for you. That's right. A lot of this self-development stuff, people want to give and they want, you got to do this. No, you do what works for you. If it's a snippet of something, let it be a snippet, but it may be much greater in a different area. It's whatever works for you. They're just giving you ideas.
Yep, for sure.
So, I was thinking of something you mentioned earlier. Now, my mother's dementia is going to hit me, and I can't remember what I was going to say. But one time, I'm one of them. Before I got in the wheelchair, my dad being a mechanic, I remember I was 12 years old. He showed me how to change brakes on a car one Saturday and everything. So I like tinkering my hands and everything. So as I got even in a wheelchair, if I can find a lawnmower on the side of the road, a TV, a microwave, especially when income taxes come in, people's upgrading their stuff and putting stuff out, I'll grab whatever I can. And if it's still working, clean it up the best I can to give it away. Give it to someone needy that could use this. And what I was going to say, one funny story is when one guy was throwing a lawnmower out, and sure enough, a buddy was with me. I said, hey, take it and put it in the back of my trunk of my car, and we'll see if it works. And he's getting it out, and the dude's hollering, it doesn't run. He said, James, you said it doesn't run. That's okay. Put it back there. So he's still picking it up, put it back there. I said it don't work. James said, Dad, doesn't matter. Just put it back there. Even if the motor don't work, we can use the frame with a different motor. Where the frame broke, we can use it. And so got it home. And my younger brother, he was a mechanic. And we got looking at it. And he pulled the spark plug out, pulled the crank on it. It's firing, everything. He opens up the gas tank, scratches his head, comes back, pours gas in it, pulls it 3 times, and it started. It didn't work because dude didn't put gas in it. And so I was able to give that to someone, and they used it for over 2 years before it finally burned up. So that's what I like to do, is find stuff. And even though I can't use my fingers doing it, my mind, I know I can help get something going, and then just give it away.
You know what I love? What a great story! You were telling that story. I was thinking about one of the things that I also I'm continuing to learn about is the power of gratitude and the power of generosity. And
yes.
And when you said that, it made me think, generosity is really is kind of doing things that are, more than someone expects of you, and so I think just what you described there, wow, I am just that is so good to me. It just gave me a thought about how I can incorporate greater gratitude and generosity in my life by just
There you
taking
go.
simple things.
I mean, someone one time I read that what they do to help people, they're apparently an expert in clipping coupons and doing their thing. I've seen, you see them shows where they do coupons. They'll do $1,200 in coupon, but they got back $400 and everything was free because they had all them coupons to do everything. Well, what she does, she'll clip coupons, but she'll lay them on the shelf next to the item for someone comes by, they can pick up the coupon to use it
and use it.
I mean, that's something that's simple to help another person. So yeah, we can do a lot of things to help other people. And the best thing about gratitude is not expecting anything in return. Just being grateful we're able to help.
Yeah.
I'm in a wheelchair. I can't mow your yard. If there's an elderly next to me, I can't mow your yard, but I can find somebody to do it for you. So
yeah, what a great practice. I love that you do that. That's good. I appreciate you sharing and helping me today. That's another. I've had 2 gold nuggets from you today. That's great.
There we go. All right, show's over. Thank you for coming. And all right, but call Ken to sign. It is about time for us to shut down. Boy, Dean, I've enjoyed meeting you, and I would love to maybe in 6 months or so get together again, just have a story fest.
I love it. I'd be totally up for that. That'd be great.
We'll keep in contact and we'll do this. And for everybody else, Dean Taylor, he's going to give his social media in case y'all need to get hold to him. If he can help coach or any practice, any program he's got, Dean, tell us to us.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to share. And I would love to connect with anyone listening. You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Dean Taylor Official. I also have a website, deantaylorofficial.com. I have some free resources out there to help people with purpose. And I've also taken some lessons from my own life. People can download that. I've got 7 life lessons as well for free that people could download that might help them. Hopefully help them on their way and continue to persevere and go after and achieve.
All right, so persevere. I didn't catch you on the last one. I didn't want to interrupt you. Say persevere again. Let me give you a high five.
Awesome.
Come on, high five. High five. You're not working. High five. Come on, high five. You're not working. High five. Well, let's try a fist bump again.
All right. Boom.
All right. High five. We're going to have to work on it. So, all right, Dean. Yeah, and I'll get this information also put in the show notes to make people easier to find you and things. And I appreciate everything you've done. And I just put out a book, and it talks about my 7 ways of helping people and stuff. And it's titled, those saying, until you walk a mile in my shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is until you roll a mile in my tracks. So, and then just 7 life lessons. So,
I love that. I love that.
All right, Dean. Well, I appreciate you being here. And boy, you made me feel good about today again. Today's my 42 year. I tell people the day I died from walking, being independent to paralyzed, learning to accept other people's help. Boy, it takes a lot of gratitude and swallowing your pride when you've been so independent and then you're having to wait on other people to help you. Boy, that takes a lot. Patience. I had to learn. I'm still learning the patience. So, all right, Dean. Hey, we know there's people hurting and struggling today, and if you can leave us with a positive message, that'd be a blessing.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And one of the quotes that I love, and one of the ones that this comes from someone probably many people have heard about, Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins shared this quote. He says, "Whatever you hold in your mind on a consistent basis is exactly what you'll experience in life." And I love that quote. The reason I love it is because we've been talking about dreams. We've been talking about the things we want. If we can hold that in our mind and keep it there, we will get it. It will happen. When I think about creation, there's nothing that we ever see around. It's always created twice. It's once it's pictured in our mind, and then and then reality happens. It comes to life. And so, I mean, there's nothing here that I'm looking at around me that wasn't in someone's mind before at first. They visualized it, they saw it first. And so that's one reason I love that quote by Tony Robbins is if we want whatever we want to achieve and have, hold it consistently in your mind, and then you'll experience that in your life.
Amen, brother. Appreciate the good word. And that's a powerful, powerful statement. All right. Appreciate you being here, Dean. Again, we're going to stay in contact and we're going to get you back on here, man. And so we'll go from there. Hey, everybody. I'm Dr. James Purdue, the professor of perseverance. Be sure to share this out with someone that you know could use good storytelling and uplift to show you not to quit in life and to find your purpose, move on with your dream. Do something today, tomorrow, something next week that's going to help you persevere past your paralysis.